here.
Big Dome!
Breakfast Club, bitches.
You can call me the donkey of the day, but, I mean no harm.
Donkey of the day for Wednesday, January 12th goes to a Houston woman named Sarah Beam. A salute to everybody who listens to us on 93.7 The Beat in Houston. Drop on the clues bomb for 93.7 The Beat in Houston.
What up, H-Town?
That's right. One time for my niece Ashley with 2 E's. What's happening?
Mr. Rogers, Trey the Truth.
Mr. Rogers, Trey, what's happening? Now, Houston, we have a problem.
Uh-oh.
Well, we don't really have a problem. I don't even know why folks say that. And they always say it when Houston has absolutely nothing to do with the situation. Not to mention, it's never a we, it's a you. Okay, and in this case, it's a you. And the you is Sarah Beam. Sarah Beam is a teacher at a high school called Cypress Falls, and she's been charged with endangering a child. But in this case, she endangered a child because she herself didn't want to be endangered. What are you talking about, Uncle Shala? Brother Leonard, did you just say she endangered a child because she didn't want to endanger herself? What are you saying? Have you gone mad? Well, you got to hear both sides. Let's go to the news report.
With a warrant in hand, deputies went into this Jersey Village home looking for Sarah Beam. The Cy-Fair ISD 10th grade English teacher is wanted for felony child endangerment.
When the kids come to my room, it's important for me to make it a comfortable environment where they want to be.
But investigators with the Cy-Fair ISD Police Department say she wasn't worried about her own son's comfort when he possibly came down with the coronavirus. Charging documents show that on Monday, Beam took the 13-year-old to a testing site at Pridgeon Stadium, unrestrained in the trunk of her car. Beam told the district's health director at the site that she was trying to keep herself from being exposed to the virus. That person had the child taken out of the trunk and called 911.
Eddie, what's the news site? Huh? ABC 13. Now listen, there are things you should absolutely have in your trunk. Jumper cable, spare tire, jacklug wrench, flashlight maybe, but never the kids. All right, here's the thing. At least this is my mindset. I'm not judging this woman, Sarah Beam, but I made up my mind a long time ago in my house. If one of us got COVID, we all was probably going to get COVID, and that's exactly what happened. Okay, when they started telling us how COVID was impacting kids, in my mind, I'm like, okay, one of my daughters is probably going to bring COVID home from school. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm not socially distancing from my kids, especially if they got COVID. Now, if you're older, if you got underlying conditions, I get it, all right? Put him or her in the trunk. All right, and this could could be the case in this situation. I haven't heard of Sarah Beam having any underlying conditions, but clearly she was being extra safe. What makes this story even more nuts is she took the 13-year-old boy to a drive-through COVID testing site for additional testing. So clearly, she didn't believe the positive test she got back from her son originally. Maybe he was asymptomatic, who knows? But she put him in the trunk and drove to another COVID testing site. And when the COVID testing people were gathering information from people in line, Sarah told him her son was in the trunk. Look, I love my children too much to put them in the trunk. All right, what if, God forbid, you got into an accident? All right, somebody rear-ended you. There's no security in the trunk. All right, no seatbelt. Correct me if I'm wrong, Envy. You the car guy. Most vehicles have those crumple zones in the front and back, right? So if you get in a wreck, they're probably at a greater risk of being injured. Especially if you're in the back, because the cars are designed to absorb energy in the front and the back, right?
Correct.
They're designed to absorb energy in the front and the back, right, Envy? So I would be more concerned about having my child in the trunk than I would having them, next to me in a car positive for COVID. I would like to ask Sarah Beam, what letter plan was the trunk? Was it plan A? Was it plan B? I need to know, okay? Because the kid is 13. Why not put him in the back seat? Both of y'all wear your mask and roll the windows down. Okay, I need to know what other scenarios did you play out in your mind before you told your little man get in the trunk, all right? This is also why being a parent, especially a mom, is the most impactful job in the world. Only a mother can convince a child to get in the trunk for any reason at all. Only a mom, because we have the utmost trust in our mothers, especially at the age of 13. And if I just got a positive COVID test at that age, depending how much news I take in, I might be thinking all types of things in that moment. I might be scared to death, anxiety going through the roof. I might be wondering if I'm going to die. So if mom tells me get in the trunk, I'm getting in the trunk, because I damn sure don't want to kill my mother. Now, $1 million question to the room. Envy, you throwing any of your kids in the trunk if they test positive for COVID? Think about it.
No, not if they test positive.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe for some other reasons.
But about to ask. You said not if they test positive. What other reasons?
I'm just joking down. Now I ain't throwing my kids in the trunk.
Yeah, you throwing any kids you know in the trunk if they test positive for COVID?
I'm not throwing anybody in a trunk.
Okay. Me neither. What happened to the good old days of Houston when the only thing you found in the trunk that began with K and ended with S was kilos? Kilos of cocaine. What happened to the good old days, man? Please give Sarah Beam. Let Remy Ma give Sarah Beam the biggest hee-haw.
Hee-haw, hee-haw. You stupid motherfucker. Are you dumb?
We not gonna play again?
I don't know what race she is. I didn't see her picture. Do you know what race she is, Eddie?
Idiot.
Eddie, you know her race? If you know her race, come in here. Oh, Eddie knows her race.
She's actually a school teacher, by the way.
Okay, let's play.
So she's not an idiot per se.
Let's play a game.
Want to play a game? Guess what race it is? All right. Sarah Beam. You got to tell me text me what race she is, Eddie. Sarah Beam, she's from Houston. Her 13-year-old son tested positive for COVID, so she threw him in the trunk so she didn't endanger herself. Guess what race she is, Angela Yee?
I can't even guess. Alien?
Okay.
All right.
Not human?
You ain't got a sound effect for alien, do you? No, he doesn't. All right, ask me.
Okay, Sarah Beam threw her 13-year-old son in the trunk because he tested positive for COVID, and she didn't want to catch it. She's a high school teacher in Houston. Guess what race she is?
White.
What makes you think that?
I'm going to tell you why, right? So, I could see any race throwing their kids in the trunk just in case. But then
Just in case.
you told me that she told on herself. Ain't no black woman gonna tell on herself. Ain't no black woman gonna say, I just threw my kid in the
Well,
trunk.
they didn't think she didn't think she was doing anything wrong.
That's my point. Black people know you can't throw your kids in the trunk. Spanish people know you can't throw your kids in the trunk. Asian people know you ain't gonna be able to throw your kids in the trunk. White people,
Got you.
they might feel like, nah, just throw little Mikey in the trunk. He all right.
Yeah, well, DJ Envy, you are correct.
I knew it.
Sarah Beam is as white as those kilos that they used to smuggle in Houston in their trunk and might still do.
I knew it.
Yes.
I knew it.
She white too. I'm looking at her picture.
What is white?
No, she white.
What is white?
White. Like, that's a white woman there.
Oh, yeah, she white.
She calling the police for nothing.
Absolutely.
She sneezed, and I think this black person just sneezed next to me, made me uncomfortable.
Music's too loud. I'm calling the police.
That's 100% lootly.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Okay, all right. Well, thank you for that donkey today. Up
And
next,
salute to everybody on YouTube who thinks that we never do Guess What Race It Is for black people. You're clearly new here.
No, we do it for everybody.
Man, come on.
Yeah.
We got two types of black people, but you can only talk about one. Right? Okay? We do. We have two types of black people when we do Guess What Race It Is.
All right. Well,
Play the drops for them, Red. Play the regular. What's the?
Damn.
That's just for black people. And then when
There's powerful niggatry at work here.
niggatry.
let's play Spanish so they can.
No.
We got Asian too, right?
I know. Oh, okay.
What
Forgot
else we
about that.
have?
White. Right. Everybody's covered here, baby.
Everybody's covered. Yeah,
That's
we got
all.
something for everybody.
That's right.
Donkey of the Day is brought to you by the law office of Michael S. Lamonsoff. Don't be a donkey. Dial pound 250 on your cell and say the bull if you've been hurt in a construction accident. That's pound 250 from your cell and say the bull.